This episode is brought to you by Voco Hotels by IHG, where you should prepare to be charmed. From Chicago to Myrtle Beach to Saranac Lake, each Voco in the U.S. has its own local flavor and unique detail. Our hosts welcome you with little extras, and you'll find rooms for catching up on me time and full-service bars and restaurants that are perfect for us time. Come on in and live the Voco life and book your next stay at VocoHotels.com. VOCO Hotels.com.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Business. We could all use more time. Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions, so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. I can see why they call it smart. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Welcome to From Dorms to Desks, job hunting tips for those early in their careers. A podcast brought to you by College Recruiter job search site, which believes that every student and recent grad deserves a great career, and hosted by Work Defined. Join our AI co-hosts as they dive into tips, tricks, and insights that will help you land your next part-time, seasonal, internship, or entry-level job. Let's get your career started.
Have you ever noticed how the job search can feel like a total mental obstacle course? I mean, we hear all the time about moving or public speaking being super stressful, right? But honestly, sometimes scrolling through job postings gets my heart racing more than finding a spider in my bathtub.
Haha, I get it. It's true, though. The whole job search process these days, it can really get to you mentally. And the weird thing is, people don't really talk about it as openly as other tough stuff we go through.
Exactly. And that's exactly what we're diving deep into today, the mental health side of job hunting.
Yeah.
And more importantly, how can we make it through without losing our minds, you know? We've got some recent surveys and expert advice we're looking at today, and wow, some of these stats were pretty shocking.
Yeah, eye-opening for sure. Like this one from Forbes, 72% of job seekers, they say the whole job hunting thing has really messed with their mental health.
72%. That's a huge number. Really makes you stop and think. And it's not like it's hitting everyone the same way either.
You're right. That same Forbes survey, it found a real difference between generations. Gen Z and millennials, they're taking the biggest hit, it seems. 74% of them said the job search was getting to them compared to 56% of boomers.
Makes you wonder, right? Is it something about this job market specifically? Or is it just tougher being those generations right now, even without the job hunt? Either way, it's a lot to process. So why is the job search such a minefield for our mental health these days? Well, this Resume Genius survey, they dug into what frustrates job seekers the most, and honestly, some of it is kind of disheartening.
Yeah, for sure. One of the biggest ones, and it's just so frustrating, is getting ghosted by employers. You know, it's total silence after you apply. A whopping 44% of the people they surveyed said that was their top frustration.
It's like the ultimate rejection, isn't it? You put yourself out there, spend all that time making your application perfect, and then nothing. It makes you wonder if you're good enough, you know?
Totally. And then on top of that, there's this whole thing with ghost jobs. It's like these job postings just vanish without a trace, like they never existed.
It's true. You're left wondering, did they even see my application? Was I just not what they were looking for? And it's no wonder, with all this pressure and uncertainty, that people start stretching the truth on their resumes. This Resume Genius survey found almost half of applicants, like 48%, admitted to lying on their resume.
Wow. 48%. That's wild. It really shows how desperate some people feel, you know? They feel like they have to lie to even get a foot in the door. That says a lot about the job market right now.
It's a tough spot to be in, that's for sure. And before we go any further, just want to say to everyone listening, if you're feeling that weight of job search stress, if any of this is hitting home for you, you are not alone. Yeah. This isn't just you. It's a system-wide issue. Remember that. So knowing all of this, how do we make the job search less, well, soul-crushing?
Right. Thankfully, it's not all doom and gloom. Our sources had some good advice mixed in there, too.
Oh, good.
College Recruiter, they had some really practical tips for dealing with job search burnout. And what I liked is they emphasized these aren't just, you know, fluffy self-help things, but stuff that people who actually landed jobs found helpful.
Okay, so these are the battle-tested tips.
Yeah.
I like it. Give us the goods. What do they say?
Well, one of the most powerful things you can do might seem kind of counterintuitive, but it's all about setting boundaries. Yeah, like it's so easy to fall into this trap where the job search becomes your whole life, a full-time job in itself, you know?
Oh, tell me about it. Been there, done that. Not a good look.
Exactly. And that's a recipe for burnout, for sure.
So how do we stop the job search from taking over everything?
That's where time management comes in, and I mean dedicated time management. College Recruiter, they recommend actually setting specific hours each day for job hunting, like you would for a regular job.
Oh, that's interesting.
And here's the thing, when the clock stops, you stop. No more applications, no more LinkedIn stalking, you're off duty.
Okay, so it's about bringing some order to the chaos, right?
Exactly. That feeling of control can make a huge difference.
It's like you're drawing a line in the sand. Work time, me time.
I like that. And on that note about me time, it's so easy to forget, but you're a whole person, not just a job applicant.
It's true. It's easy to get lost in it all.
So making time for the stuff you're passionate about, things that bring you joy, that's not just a distraction, it's essential, especially now.
Oh, absolutely. You can't pour from an empty cup, right?
Exactly. And this next thing that College Recruiter pointed out really got me thinking. They mentioned how many people are actually job searching because they're trying to escape a bad situation at their current job.
Oh, wow. To get away from a toxic workplace or something.
Yeah, or just something that's really impacting their mental health. And it made me realize we need to be thinking about mental health from the very beginning of our careers, not just when things get really bad.
Totally. It's not just about finding any job. It's about finding one that's actually good for you, mentally and emotionally.
100%.
Okay, so we've talked about the emotional roller coaster of the job search, setting boundaries, remembering you're a human with a life outside of applications. But let's be real, even with all that, it's still really tough, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I found this next concept from College Recruiter really interesting. They called it a mental detox.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. It's like hitting the reset button on your brain, you know, gives you that space to recharge so you can come back to your job search with fresh eyes.
I love that. So what's involved in a mental detox exactly?
Well, some of it might surprise you. Like, they talk a lot about the importance of actually finishing tasks, seeing things through to completion.
Huh. That's interesting. Why is that so important? I never really thought about it that way.
It's all about how our brains work, you know? When we leave things unfinished, it creates this kind of mental clutter, this low-level stress that follows us around, and that spills over into everything, even how we approach the job search.
So it's not just about being organized. It's about quieting that mental noise. I get it. What else?
They also talk about embracing small, continuous improvement instead of going for these huge, daunting goals.
Sounds simple enough, but does that really work?
It's all about shifting your mindset. It's like you're not going to go from 0 to hero overnight, right? So instead of beating yourself up for not having the perfect resume or nailing every single interview, you focus on those smaller wins. Like, did you update your LinkedIn profile? Did you finally figure out that elevator pitch? Those are wins.
Little by little, it all adds up, right?
Right. It's about progress, not perfection. And then this one might be the toughest one for some people, especially in the middle of a job hunt.
Oh no, what is it?
They recommend taking one full day off every week. A complete break.
Wait, a whole day? But shouldn't I be using every spare minute to network or apply for jobs?
It seems counterintuitive, right? Our whole culture is all about productivity, go, go, go. But honestly, our minds and bodies, they need a chance to recover, to truly disconnect.
You're saying even from job searching, like no checking emails, no scrolling through LinkedIn, nothing.
Exactly. Might feel strange at first, maybe even a little bit indulgent.
For sure.
But giving yourself permission to rest, really rest, it's essential to avoid burning out. And here's the best part. These mental detox things, they're not just for when you're job searching.
Really?
Nope. College Recruiter, they said these habits are super valuable for preventing burnout at any point in your career.
It's about building a sustainable lifestyle, one that supports your mental health for the long haul.
100%.
Yeah.
Mental well-being. It's not separate from work. It is work.
That's such a good point. We've been talking about how the job search impacts our mental health, but it's really a much bigger issue, isn't it? It affects the entire workforce.
Big time.
We were looking at this article about the workforce, and it really drives home the point that taking care of employees' mental health isn't just the right thing to do. It's good for business.
It really is. Beyond just, feeling good, though that's definitely important too. But there's a real economic incentive here. Get this. Companies are seeing, on average, a $7 return for every dollar they invest in their employees' mental health.
$7 back for every $1 invested. Wow, okay, now you're talking my language. Suddenly, it's not just about being nice, it's about the bottom line.
Exactly. It completely changes the conversation, and it represents a bigger shift, too, We're moving away from just dealing with problems after they blow up and towards actually creating a workplace where mental health is baked in from the start.
So it's like, instead of just putting out fires, we're preventing them in the first place.
Yeah.
Designing a workplace that actually supports well-being.
100%. That means open communication, having resources available, and just making it clear that it's okay to not be okay, you know?
It makes so much sense. A healthy workforce is a productive workforce. So as we wrap up this deep dive, one thing's really sticking with me. Even if you, the listener, aren't feeling totally burned out by your job search right now, what's one tiny thing you could do to protect yourself, to be more resilient down the line?
That's what it's all about. Building those healthy habits now, even in small ways. Whether it's those boundaries we talked about, being kind to yourself, or even just taking that one full day off a week to completely recharge, that's an investment in your future, both personally and professionally.
It's incredible, isn't it? How much of what we talked about today applies not just to finding a job, but to, well, life in general.
Totally. Mental health isn't a destination, it's a journey.
So true. This has been such an eye-opening conversation. And honestly, I feel like we've just scratched the surface here. There's so much more to explore when it comes to mental health and the workplace.
There really is. I bet there are some fascinating studies and insights waiting to be uncovered.
Well, until next time, keep those resumes updated, practice those interview skills, and most importantly, take good care of yourselves. We'll see you on our next deep dive.
This has been From Dorms to Desks, job hunting tips for those early in their careers. A podcast brought to you by College Recruiter job search site, which believes that every student and recent grad deserves a great career. Each episode, we dive into tips, tricks, and insights that will help you land your next part-time, seasonal, internship, or entry-level job. Subscribe to this podcast for free now, so you don't miss an episode, and visit www.collegerecruiter.com to find your next great job.
You know the words dominating today's headlines.
Private equity,
generative capital gains tax,
America's
chip war with market volatility.
On Fed rate cuts are...
But do you understand how they impact your world and your wallet? In a world that skims the what, understand the why. Because context changes everything. Subscribe at Bloomberg.com.